because you raised your hands as action takers and you want to implement the 6-step sponsoring sequence into your business to generate some leads and build a cold market into a warm market and eventually convert them into some sort of sales or sign up. So the first thing I wanted to just touch on is why we teach this system as opposed to other systems. And there's a few reasons for that. The first one is when you come online with network marketing, you probably don't really know what you're doing. You're potentially told that you should be posting recruitment posts on your Facebook page and in other networking groups, or you should be posting sales posts and products before and after shots and all that sort of stuff. And that there's nothing really wrong with that, except what happens is that you are one person in a massive company full of people selling the same product and the same recruitment service or opportunity, and you're also not just fighting against all the other reps that you've got that are selling the same thing, you're also one small network marketing company in hundreds of thousands. So you're all fighting for a very, very small piece of the pie, shall we say. And if you're posting your company product pictures and your company opportunity chat, then you are going to end up just blending into the background, really. You're not going to stand out. Nobody's really going to know you are any different to anybody else. So the reason that we teach this is we want you to start thinking about you are the brand, you are yourself, you're selling yourself, you're not selling the product or the company. Yes, it's important that you have a belief in your company and a belief in your product, but right now you need to start believing in yourself and you need to start pushing yourself forward as that brand, and really making sure people are understanding that it's you that they're buying into, because network marketing is a people business, it's a community business, and people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And I know that I bang on about this all the time, but it's really, really important that you guys understand this. So I'm just going to basically give you another thing that people do as well that you need to step away from is the false promise. And maybe not all of you do this, or maybe none of you do this, but you do see it. That I need 5 people recruitment posts, the false promises of unlimited cash and unlimited targets and, you know, unlimited profit and all that. Because at the end of the day, network marketing isn't some sort of magic get-rich scheme. And I think that a lot of people, when they first join network marketing, they've kind of maybe been a bit missold it or led up the garden path slightly. And some of these recruitment posts can read that way. They read it as if it's some sort of job, almost a job that you're going to have a set income from. But we all know that actually your success comes from within you. Your success is driven by you, and the amount of work you put in will show how much you make and how much success you have, providing you're using the right steps and the right systems. So as you all know my story, you all know that I did offline for a long time, and I wasn't really getting anywhere, I wasn't getting the coaching and the support, and that's why when I've come online and I've had a really good mentor and coach to do this, I wanted to pay it forward to you guys. So this is what this is about. So I'm just going to launch right in and start talking about attraction marketing. So the 6-step sponsoring sequence is based on the attraction marketing principle. So we want you to understand that you are the brand, you are unique, and that you need to attract people to you to work with. So it's all about positivity. What you put into your conscious mind feeds down to your subconscious mind and pushes out to the world, and that is what you will attract back. And it might sound a bit airy-fairy or a bit mumbo-jumbo, but it really, really does work. And so using your Facebook account is really, really important to get yourself known on a wider scale, increasing that market leads, increasing who you know and who to speak to. But you need to have the right profile set up, the right kind of profile going on, the right attraction, the right positivity coming out of it. So, you know, as I talked about in Networking Gems group, no negativity on your page, please. Make sure that you are posting value content, that you're showing who you are for real. Don't fake it till you make it. Just post genuine stuff and show a really nice lifestyle that you have. It doesn't matter that you don't have a lot of money at this stage. We just want you to show that you are a positive person and that you are somebody that somebody would want to know, because that is your shop window essentially, is your Facebook profile. So the next step on this is opening up your community. So what we want you to do is you have your Facebook hub, your Facebook community, and you're going to feed into that Facebook community from all different places in the long run. But right now, I just want you to concentrate just on Facebook and get that mastered. Once you've mastered Facebook, you'll start thinking about other things like blogs and Instagram and Twitter and all these things. But don't bite off too much of the cake once so you make yourself sick, kind of thing. Just one little bit at a time, and you will grow your success step by step by step. So some of you may already have opened your community, some of you may not have not, but what I want to say is your community is not a selling site and it's not a recruitment posting site, it is a value-based community. So the first thing you need to do before you even start your community is to think about who your target market is. Now this is really, really essential because this is how you're going to attract people to you. So you may have a health and wellness business and you're looking to attract people who want to be healthy. They want to. You can do this for recruiting or for products, by the way, guys. Personally, I think this is the best thing for recruiting and lead generation, but if you wanted to do it for products, you could as well. So if you've got a health and wellness business, for example, you could be a bit more clever about how you're going to post stuff, and you're going to start to share value based on health and wellness. Another example is if you are trying to recruit really serious business people into your group, people who already got a lot of success. Well, what are their main problems in life? Well, their main problems are, yeah, they're already making lots of money, they're already successful, so you know that you'd want to work with them, but they don't have any time, they don't have a life-work balance, and they probably are potentially in a bad place in their private life. Maybe their marriage is not great, or their kids are resenting them because they're not around, or potentially even affecting their health. You know, if their stress levels are high, they're just really not very well, that kind of thing. So think about your target market. Really spend some time identifying who it is that you want to target. Okay, and then what you're going to do with that target is that target market and work out their problems. So as I said, you know, think about it. What are they struggling with? What are they suffering with? How can you help them? That's what you're going to build your niche around. So as network marketers, and here's a massive tip for you guys, your target market should be other network marketers from a recruitment base. Now, that might sound a bit crazy, but there's a method to the madness with this. Basically, 97% of network marketers are failing in their business. They're not succeeding, they're not getting the targets that they wanted, they're not getting the income that they wanted, they maybe don't have the right coaching, they maybe don't have the right mentoring, all that kind of stuff. They're maybe online making the same mistakes that we just kind of covered on, doing recruitment posts, doing sales posts, their profiles covered in their product, that kind of thing. So these guys need help. They need help on how to do an online business, basically, how to recruit online, how to sell online. And you can provide that help through creating a community, very much like Networking Gems, and pick what you want to teach them. So here's some problems that network marketers have. They struggle with lead generation, they struggle with what content to write, they struggle with converting leads to sign-ups or to sales. How could you help them with that based on a niche that you would like to expand into? For me, I chose Facebook because I sit on Facebook a lot and I like it, and I've got a lot of friends on Facebook already, so I started with that, and I've expanded it as I've learned other social medias. So I've now, you guys have probably all seen my Instagram training. I'm just about to start a blog, and I'm just building my portfolio to teach you guys. So, you know, you can take what I teach you and you can run with it and learn and share that knowledge. Just make it your own. So why would you want to talk tonight to network marketers as well? So you take them down this process, and they are struggling. They may join your business. If they don't, you can then offer them some sort of coaching program that you could potentially become an affiliate of. So you've got multiple streams of income, but that's further down the road. But just putting that idea into your head, you know, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, and you should think about having multiple streams of income, because it really will help benefit you to monetize everyone that comes into your group and everyone that you speak to. So to cover the 6-step sponsoring sequence, the first step is to create some content. So that is the value-based content that we've just kind of touched on. Then you need to capture those leads into your group. You need to get some connections going outside of your group to build your cold market list. You need to get some comments on and engagement within your group. So it's going to tell you if you are hitting the right targets, if you are connecting with these people on the right level, and you then need to communicate with them, and then you need to close them. So that is the 6 steps. What I want to focus on is the very, very first few steps today for you guys. So the first one is obviously creating content. So you're going to open your group. A couple of tips for opening your group once you've identified your target market, once you've identified your niche, and you know what you're going to write about and stuff. Sometimes it's a bit like, well, how do I start? The first thing to do when you're opening your group with your name of your group is don't be too, don't get hung up on this, but don't be too elusive with it. Try and make it fairly obvious what it is you're targeting, because when people start to search groups, you want them to naturally find you in the longer term as your group grows. Always brand yourself in the title if you can. And remember, if you've set your group up already, you can change your name for it. It's okay. Don't get stressed if you think, oh, I've got the wrong name. Just go and change it. It's not a problem. So you can take an existing group in a different direction if you're in that place and you're wanting to change it slightly. But the reason that we say put your name in the title is so that people are still connecting everything to you. So mine is Laura Stevens Networking Gems. It's obviously I'm Laura Stevens, and Networking Gems is because I want people who are networking to come and learn how to shine. So it's a bit quirky, very me. I like a bit of bling. So that's kind of how it all ties in for me. Other people are fairly straightforward, saying 6 steps sponsoring to success. You know, there's all different ones going around there. So you can just play about with some names, do a bit of brainstorming, and come up with something kind of exciting and revolutionary. So once you've done that, as I was saying, you're going to create some content. Now, nobody is asking you to reinvent the wheel, okay? So basically, I want you to go and start thinking about the CART method. I'm going to slow down at this bit because I want you to really grasp this. The CART method is to get some knowledge, pay for knowledge, take some action, get a result, and teach it. So that knowledge can come from many, many places. It can come from different groups like mine. It can come from blogs. It can come from webinars. It can come from articles. Anywhere online, there's absolutely so much free content out there that you cannot go wrong with this. And it just is amazing how much information you can pick up once you start learning and implementing this and really sitting down and doing it. And I would suggest if you can do it 30 minutes a day for 30 days, you will become an expert in your niche, because you're going to know more than 95% of the people out there who are looking for help. So knowledge, action, results, teach. So the very first thing I did was learn how to get 7 leads in 7 days on Facebook into my group. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a start. And I then I got my 7 leads, I created a little video on it. You don't need to do video if you don't like video, you just do an article or do a PDF. And I put it as a pinned post in my group. And I then went around and asked people if they'd be interested in that information. And it's amazing how it attracts people to you. So your content creation, that's your first content, is the value-based content. The second content is going to be what I call an engagement content. And this is fun. It should be fun, it should be funny, it should be something that people can easily answer without too much stress. It can be one-liners, can be just a little paragraph. And that can be things like even something as silly as, what's your favourite colour? People love to answer silly questions. I don't know why, but the reason that you do that is because Facebook bots, Facebook algorithm will stop showing you things if you've not got an engagement level. It's really bad on your profile, it's really bad on your fan page. but it's not as bad in a group. But if you'll notice it, maybe even yourself, if you look at your own groups, you're maybe in hundreds and hundreds of groups, but how many of those groups do you actually see in your newsfeed because you haven't commented, you haven't engaged in that group for a few weeks? So Facebook thinks you don't want to see that anymore, and it starts dropping it off your newsfeed. So you need to try and keep eyes on your content by giving value, and then the next post, you maybe do 2 posts a day, so do a value post and then do a fun post. And it doesn't need, you don't even need to put any thought into that. It can be anything that you want to talk about or anything you want to ask. And it's also another way of building up a personal relationship with these people that are into your group and these leads, because they are here to get to know you, get to like you, and get to trust you. That is the main point of the whole group, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. It's all about turning cold leads to warm market. So the other little trick that you can do on your posts is to put a call to action. This also helps with your engagement as well. And that call to action can be something as simple as, what do you think? Ask for an opinion. Or, do you want part 2? Write yes please under this video, or under this content, under this picture. And you're encouraging people to interact with you, basically. That's what the teaser post, call to action is for. So that's kind of content creation. What I would say is, don't wait to do this. Just get started. You know, go for it. The longer you wait, the longer you sit still, the less action you're taking and the less momentum you're building. Getting your first 100 people in your group is the hardest bit, because you're so unsure of yourself. Your confidence level is probably pretty low, and you're totally new to this. But just jump in. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. It doesn't matter. It's lifespan of your post in your group. Yeah, it's there for everybody to see, but because you're going to be posting daily, the lifespan of each post will, after a week or so, it'll be so far down your posts that it doesn't matter if you said something wrong or it didn't sound quite right. Don't be a perfectionist and just get started. You know, read an article and then go and write a post about it. It doesn't need to be you know, the 30 days down the line when you suddenly feel really knowledgeable about something. Just jump in, get it done, get it started, because the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to start to see some real results. You know, I've only been doing this since December, and I got my 500 members in my group, and I've been really active since kind of mid-December, end of December, in my group, and I'm talking to people, I'm converting people into sales and sign-ups, and the growth in my business and the growth in me as a person alone has been immense. So I really, really encourage you to take this opportunity and this coaching and run with it. So so that's content creation. I kind of deviated there, sorry, but it's so important that you guys understand how fantastic this program is and how it's going to change your entire outlook on business. So basically, for content creation, always just go in with an open mind of how can I help someone, not how can I sell something. So your post shouldn't be about your product, it shouldn't be about your opportunity, it should be how can I add value, how can I help someone. The second step is to capture leads into your group. So you've got this group, you're adding content, it's all hunky-dory, so if nobody sees it and nobody's in your group, then it's a waste of time. So obviously this bit's quite important, even though it's quite a simple step. So the first thing I want you to do is to go back to your existing friends list. Now, this might be easy for some of you, it might not be as easy for others, depending on how much networking you've currently done. But the first thing I did was go back through my friends, looked at who is in my target market, and reconnected with those people if I hadn't spoken to them for a while. So just asking them how they are, how's their family, how's business, you know, just a couple of backwards and forwards conversations, natural conversation. And then I told them, I'm starting a group, or I have recently started a group to provide value-based coaching and inspiration thought you might like it and benefit from it, would you be interested in checking it out? Simple, right? So most of people are going to say yes to that. They're not going to, very, very few people are going to say, oh, I'm not interested in that, because it's appealing to their pain and appealing to their nature that you're trying to help them. So, and everyone has a mentality of what's in it for me as well. So if they think they're going to gain something out of that, then it's always a good way to kind of lay it on a plate, if you know what I mean. So I think about my first 60 members within a few days just doing that, because I had done quite an extensive amount of networking. If you don't have a huge friends list at the moment, then you're going to have to work a little bit harder, but you can still do it. So if you don't have a great friends list and you want to start growing that friends connections, the best thing you can do is get yourself into some networking groups and get yourself into onto some fan pages as well. So the first one I'll take is the easiest one, into networking groups. And there's absolutely hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those groups out there that are networking groups and recruitment groups and whatever. Get yourself in there and just put a comment up saying, looking to network with like-minded people who want to work together to build a network and get to know each other. Something as simple as that. Or anybody want to be friends even. And quite often you'll find that there are already these posts in these groups. And you can just jump on that. It's called a friends ladder. So you can jump on that friends ladder. And very, very quickly you will start to grow your cold market. So when I connect with a new friend, even still now, I no longer need to reach out to anyone else. I regularly have up to 100 people ask to be my friend in a week on Facebook. So I will periodically do batches of 10 friends to add them to my personal profile as a Facebook friend. And I always send a message saying thanks for the friend request. Really great to connect with you. Where are you from? How are you? An open question. So they have to answer you, or they should answer you. You will get some people who don't answer you, and I don't really understand why people are connecting with people if they don't want to talk to each other. But don't worry about that and just move on to the next person that does want to talk. Quite quickly you'll build up a conversation, and very quickly you can ask them, would they be interested in joining your coaching group, or your group about alternative health, or your group about business strategy, or whatever your group's about. So if you can do 10 people a day, very quickly you're going to have a large group of people that are now cold leads that you could pull into your community very, very easily. Now, what I don't want you to do is go through your friends list or meet new people and instantly bung them in your group. That is a massive, massive no-no. I'm sure you've all been subjected to being added to groups without your permission, even to some groups that probably is your own company, and you're like, well, why would I want to be in your group when I've got a sales group of my own probably, or I have my own customers and stuff. So don't do that. Always invite them to join and send your group link to them. It's their choice to choose to click through and join. And the reason that this is so important is because it proves that they are a qualified lead and they actually want to know what you're talking about. You aren't forcing it on them. They've come in, you've offered them this, and they're choosing to come into your group. And then you can take them through the rest of the process. So, fan pages. So, obviously there's going to be other experts in your niche out there that have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and these are probably the people that you're actually learning from. So for me, it's Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, Diane Hodgman, Michelle Pesco-Solido, all of these, Tony Robbins, all of these great guys that have written heaps of books. And you can go onto their fan pages and start looking through their posts. And what to do is pick a post and look at the comments underneath the post. Who's liked the comments? Who's liked the posts? Who's commented? Who's put a nice comment? You can reply to those comments, or you could put up a really thoughtful comment in response to the post, instead of just like yeah, that's great. You know, put something slightly more intelligent up about whatever the post was around, um, and you'll get people replying back saying, "Great comment." That's your opportunity to start a connection with them. So you can either friend request them yourself and always send a message when you friend request somebody and tell them why you sent them a friend request when you're doing it this way. So, for example, if I met John, I saw a comment from John on Eric Worre's page, and he had written something that appealed to me and attracted me to him. I would check out his profile. You know, yeah, he looks like a sound guy. I'd quite like to know him. And I send a friend request, send him a message. I saw your comment on Eric Worre's GoPro page. Thought it was really profound. We think alike. Would love to connect with you. He'll either accept you or he'll not. But if you're doing, you know, again, 10 to 20 a day of those, it's going to grow your market really quickly. If you feel like you don't want to friend request people, you can follow people. And you can, that's another way, because a follow will come up in their notification. So you can follow people, and you can also just send a private mail and ask them if it's okay to connect. Feel free to friend request me. You know, if you don't want to be doing the friend request buttons, but either way, it doesn't really matter. What I want to say is a little thing about Facebook jail. Don't go too quickly when you're doing this. Don't copy and paste your message. I mean, yeah, you can use a copy and paste template. Obviously, personalize it by putting the person's name in it, and just take your time and slow down a little bit, because when you do things too quickly, Facebook think you're being spammy, and they will put you in Facebook jail, and you really don't want to go into Facebook jail. And also, Facebook is properly cracking down on posts in groups. So we've got a webinar coming on Wednesday that's going to teach you guys some strategy about this. But if you have been guilty of doing the spammy posts in groups, the recruitment posts and the product posts, and you're using company pictures that everybody's using, Facebook have gone on a massive rampage this last couple of days and have blocked so many people. And because you're not actually technically supposed to make money from your Facebook profile. It's supposed to be a social thing. You're not really supposed to run a business from it if you read the terms and conditions. But if you do it the way we're doing it, because you're helping people instead of selling to people, you run no risk of falling foul of Facebook rules. So I hope that kind of clarifies the first two steps. Obviously, once you've captured those leads into your group, there's a couple of things I want to cover with you for that. First of all, the settings in your group, you should have settings set that you approve everyone into your group and that you approve all posts to your group. Now, approving everyone into your group is for one reason and one reason only, is so that you know who is coming into your group and you can connect with them and you can take them through the steps and you can get them on your tracker sheet and or into your pipeline or your CRM or whatever program you're using to track people, and you can take them through the process. If you just have people blindly adding themselves in, you're not going to be able to follow who's come and who's gone, kind of thing. So that's why you approve people. It also lets you do what we call a welcome post. And you should always do a welcome post, because this also kickstarts any relationship, especially as your community grows. You'll get people coming in you don't even know, you've maybe not even spoken to, and you'll be connecting with them for the very first time. So my little tip here for you is to have a notepad open on your screen, and before you approve the person, copy their name, stick it on the notepad, then hit approve. Copy the person's name, stick it on a notepad, approve. And again, do it in batches of 10. Again, to start with, you'll have 2s and 3s. Just go ahead and do it. Well, do the welcome post. But as your business grows, try and keep it to batches of 10. And the reason for this is because, again, you're just a way to send a message that's probably copy and paste type. And you are also going to be able to manage your time better than jumping from one job to another if you're welcoming them all individually. It's much easier if you just do it in a batch, sit down and do it, and then it's done, kind of thing. So once you've done that welcome post and you've got your list, you can do a welcome post. You tag each of the people into your welcome post. So that's why you would put it on the notepad, so you know who to tag. So that's a little tip for you there, rather than trying to memorize the names. Some people just write them down by hand, but I quite like the copy and paste, because you can actually just recopy the name, put the @ sign at the front, put their name in, and it should bring the name up, and you can just click on it. Rather, if you've misspelled something, or you've got names that you maybe don't recognise if they're from a different country, or as you expand your network somewhat, or your spelling's bad. There's lots of different reasons, so that's why I kind of do it that way. The welcome message that you're then going to send after you've done that welcome post is going to be something along the lines of, if it's somebody you've already talked to, obviously kind of keep it personal. Hi, Laura here, just welcomed you to my Networking Gems group. You should now have access to all of my coaching and training. Feel free to have a look around, like and comment on anything that resonates with you, and feel free to ask questions. And ask another open question. So if this is a new person to you, you should be saying, where are you from? If it's somebody you already have established that, just engage in the conversation that you previously had. How are your kids? That kind of thing. So that's basically the two first steps. You're creating your content and you're capturing your leads into your group. So what I'll do now is I'll open it up to questions. I know that I spoke really fast through that, but I have recorded this, so you're going to be able to go back and watch it again. But I don't want to hold you guys up more than necessary, and I want to give you time to ask questions. So feel free to unmute yourself and fire away with a question, kind of one at a time, just so there's not too many people talking at once. Who wants to go first? Any questions? No questions? Wow. Okay, right, I'm going to ask you some questions then. Who here has opened their group? Give me a wave. It's me.
Trina.
Trina, sorry Trina, I can't see who's speaking. My little mute buttons. Okay, Trina. What did you find most challenging when you first started your group, or what are you finding challenging?
I've got two groups. I found the most challenging was just to begin with putting, like first people in the groups, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hardest bit, and I'm finding that at the moment with my second group, because my second group is a networking group, so it is for other networkers, and I'm finding that just a little bit harder, because I suppose I just need to go around a bit more through all my network marketing friends.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm just a bit, I don't know, weary, because one of them is my upline in the group.
Okay. Okay.
So sometimes you don't feel as confident as what,
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a good point to bring up, and it's something that I get asked quite a lot. Should you add your upline and your team into your group? This is totally personal preference. I have fellow ambassadors who have, well, not fellow ambassadors, people who have gone through the pro training and have decided not to put their upline in the group, because when they approached their upline about this strategy, their upline was still of the old mentality that you should just be doing recruitment posts and you should just be doing product posts and posting on your own profile 3 to 5 times a day and having a very spammy approach. Now, it might work for some people, we're not saying that doesn't work, but it doesn't make you unique to anything. And network marketing has had a huge growth in every company, I think. I don't know any company that hasn't really had a massive growth. So you're now in a much bigger pool of reps. So you need to stand out. You need to be different. If your upline doesn't support that, then by all means don't include them in the group. What I would do is include your team, if you have a team, into your group, because they're going to see the results that you're going to get, and they're going to want to know what to do, and you can get them to duplicate this really easily. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd conversation to have, but you know what? If you get challenged, by anybody doing this, you need to say to them, well, this is a different approach for me. I was trying it other ways. It wasn't really working for me. So I'm going to run with this and let's see what happens. And if there is supportive upline, they should be okay with you doing something slightly different, especially as it is going to get you results. So that's quite an interesting question. Anybody else got any other questions?
I have a question.
Rick? Yeah, I can hear you, Rick.
Great. I actually have two questions, Laura, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So first one is, for me, I had already started a product group before, and
Okay.
a lot of people, and it was, to be honest, a bit, just, spammy when it came to just asking for product sales, and I'm kind of trying to turn that around now.
Yeah.
To put, I was giving value, but I'm trying to put a lot more value.
Okay.
How can I do? Because I had something like 500 people in the group, and maybe 400 of them are like disengaged now because it was quite spammy. Is there any way you can doctor that, or do you need to just open another group?
It depends. So, are you hoping to continue that on as a product group rather than a recruitment group, or are you?
Yeah, I have two groups. I have two groups. One is a networking group and one product group.
So this one would remain your product group. Okay.
Yeah.
Without naming your company, what industry are you in?
Health and wellness and.
I thought it was health and wellness. So, what I would do is, you could create what we call a lead magnet. Now, this is getting a little bit more technical, but it doesn't need to be, and it can be something as simple as my top favourite healthy recipes, or something. It could be anything like that. My top tips for holistic health, and it's not about giving your product a boost. It's about giving value. And that can be in the form of, like I was saying, I did my little video. That's what we call a lead magnet. It can be a PDF. It can be like a Word document that you would just create. It doesn't take. You don't need to put a lot of energy into it. Do not need to spend hours and hours and hours on it. And you could offer that to everybody. But what you would need to do is go through. There's two ways you could do it. You could do an event, because when you host an event, everybody in your group gets an invite. So you could do that, and do like a little live thing like this, where you're talking about something specific to do with holistic health, or stress management, or benefits of meditation, or these are all off the top of my head on a health and wellness front. Or you could just create your product, create your little lead magnet, whether it be a Word document or say we go with the recipe one. You can create that, but then you need to re-engage with those people, Rick. So spend time, and I would start a spreadsheet, even though you've got 500 people in your group. Start as if you were connecting with these people for the first time. So, go into your members list and start your spreadsheet, and maybe do it A to Z, just so you find it easy to kind of follow, and send them all a private message. Again, do it in batches, so you're not seeming spammy. You're not going to end up in Facebook jail. And you can manage it as well, because as they respond to you, if you've emailed too many people, you won't be able to manage it time-wise. So 10 people, say, a day, and you can just connect saying, how's it going? Just letting you know, once they respond, just letting you know I'm taking my group in a slightly different direction, wanting to add more value and talk about general health, holistic health, whatever it is you want to focus on. Have created this my favourite top 10 healthy recipes, thought you might be interested, and because they've responded to you, even in a private mail, they'll now start seeing your posts again. So that's it. It's all about just little drip feeding connections. So the engagement on the page, constant messaging, it's not constant messaging, but regular messaging. It's all about keeping people seeing eyes on the prize and eyes on your page, on your group, on your content. So if you can reconnect with these people periodically, you're building the relationship up because you're chatting to them, and then you can start to take them through. Once you've made that reconnection, you can take them through the steps that you're going to, so you've already captured them, so you can kind of skip. That can just be like your reconnect. You could call it a reconnect for the people that are already in your group, and then you would start with communicating. So that's just taking that conversation that next bit further, and then leading them into a place where they can start to tell you a bit about their life, and because the ultimate goal is to discover what these people are having a problem with in life. You want them to open up to you and say, especially from a product perspective, you want them to open up and say, well, actually, I've got really bad eczema, or my stress level through the roof, and then what's the line? I've got a product for that. But you need to be in a position that you can do that. It doesn't seem Arthur Daily spammy, kind of salesy. You're trying to help somebody. As long as you're going in with a help attitude. Does that make sense?
Lots of sense. Thank you so much.
That's okay. What was your other question? Did you have two questions?
Yes, I did. Which was I'm going with two groups, a networking group and product, because I do have some business building ambitions that are a little bit higher than the average network marketer. So for my team and the people I am kind of bringing in, I'm thinking, should I encourage them to just do one group, or to also do two groups as well?
Okay. This is an individual decision. For me, I have no time in my schedule to do two groups. I have a job, I have a family, I have a house to run, and I have all you guys to coach and my content. So it really depends on your work schedule and your life schedule, whether you can manage one or two groups. Trina has two groups, I know, but for me, I would be starting. The key to network marketing, you need to sell product, yes, but is to build your team. That's where the real money comes from. So for me, I would be telling people to get their recruitment group up and running as quickly as possible. And people, if you start to think, well, if all of us go away and do a Facebook group, then that's another 10 Facebook groups out there. But there's hundreds and hundreds and millions of network marketers, so there's not a shortage of target market. It's kind of the way you got to look at it. And because our styles are different, everybody's going to be attracted to different people. I mean, we even see that with the networking superstar community. People join different groups for different benefits. So some of you are maybe in my group, but you might be in one of the other ambassadors' groups because they happen to teach about really in-depthly about Instagram, or they teach really in-depthly about blogs, and you just do the blabs in the networking superstar school. You've discovered who they are, and that's natural. You're always going to get that crossover and attraction. But if you can build that relationship with people, then you're never going to lose them, because they're going to become friends essentially. So they will always turn to you for help. But yeah, I would say start with one group, and if they really want to do a product group, or a group that's going to lead them down a product sales, then yeah, fair enough. But for me, I just don't have the time. So I try and just hit them. You hit your sales, and you just try and do that the traditional way. But it's totally up to you. Totally up to you. Depends on what your product is as well. My product personally doesn't need a group. So, but I understand from a network health and wellness perspective how lucrative that could be on a second group. So, does that answer your question?
So much. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Yes, Laura, can I ask you, I have a closed group which I had opened up specifically for information on products, and it's a closed group. Can you be spammy in a closed group?
Yes, but you've got to be careful, because Facebook still monitor every group, whether it be closed or secret, because it's still seen as spam, really. What you need to be careful of is the photos you're using are not too generic. So maybe take your own pictures, or if your company has like 20 pictures of one product, try and find a different picture that everybody else is using. And the other thing, and this is getting a bit technical, but it's the links that you're using as well. If you're using the same link all the time to refer back to a page or a website, it becomes like clicking into Facebook bots. This has been shared all the time. So we're actually finding that here's a prime example of that. As Facebook cracks down, it's something that we've been discussing within the Ambassadors Mastermind group, because we're now going to have to cloak our links to Networking Superstars. Because we share a lot of those links. We share the links to the webinars, we share the links to the blabs, we share the links to the page, we share the links to, if you wanted to go on to the pro training, we share a lot of links that have Networking Superstars in them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to cloak that through a cloaking facility, because we don't want Facebook to shut us down.
Mm-hmm.
Because Facebook are not caring whether we're adding value or not. They just see the same thing being shared over and over and over again. So it makes it, and as the community grows, there's no longer just 6 of us sharing the information. There's hundreds, because people have come on to the pro training and now have the facility to share the blueprint and stuff like that. Once you get onto the pro, you can share the blueprint and you can leverage Network Superstars. So that is getting technical, it's getting a bit techy, but you can do that if it's something that you wanted to do.
I just know that some of the girls, not in my team, but some of the girls in other teams within the company are constantly being shut down by Facebook, into Facebook jail, and I couldn't understand why. But round about Christmas, leading up to Christmas, they have a different offer on every single day. And rather than post direct from their website, what I would do is take pictures of the different products. I would go into pic collage, makeup, almost a little poster, and just say, this is a special offer on today, 30% off, blah, 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 and post like that. And I would also post it on my personal page as well. So I presume that was okay to do that.
Because you're making it unique.
Yeah.
Because you're making it unique, it's fine. The only thing I would say about your personal, because it's in a closed group, it's people who are there that want to be there potentially, but just make sure you're getting engagement, Irene, because if they're not engaging, then your actual view level's going to be really low.
Yeah, a lot of them were engaging. A lot of them were saying, "Oh, that's a brilliant offer.
Yeah, that's good.
What's the price, etc." So that was fine.
Engage in conversation.
Yeah.
What I would say about your personal profiles is just be really careful with how much you put on your personal profile. Because again, it's something that Facebook is really reviewing, and really clamping down as they're changing the algorithms a lot. And the general rule is 80% personal and 20% business should keep you out of trouble. So
I must have, that's probably what I do, because I post up a lot of positive stuff every day. I post up stuff to do with
inspirational quotes and photos of your family and things that just make you happy. Nice scenery, whatever floats your boat, and it's amazing. Even if you look on people's pages who are good at it and don't spam a lot, they still get a lot more likes and comments on their personal stuff than they do on their business stuff generally, unless they're superly hot like Ray Higdon, who can post about it and get hundreds of millions.
The other thing I was going to say is that over the last year our company has grown so much, that there's a lot of the young ones have come in and they have just taken the market by storm, and they have done a lot of this attraction marketing, by basically selling their lifestyle rather than selling the products on their page. And yet there's still, I had joined a lot of groups, like people looking for work, jobs around Scotland, England, etc. And now I've just actually stopped doing it because there's so many of them doing it now, posting up stuff in there. Where would you suggest trying to find leads? How do you find leads? How do you approach people?
Okay, I do a couple of different things. I do what we call, and this is kind of getting into the next stage, into engagement, but we'll cover it because you've answered the question. I do a couple of different things. I add value I show my lifestyle, like you say, I don't fake it, I don't buy Prada bags, shopping bags just so I look like I bought something out of Prada or anything like that, which we spoke about before, Irene. But I do show my lifestyle a lot, but what I do is I do what we call teaser posts. So what I'm offering is my value. So I'm not giving away the garden. So for example, if you look on my profile last night, I put a post up, a big silver post that said, I've just got 500 qualified leads.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how I did it?
Yeah.
And I don't just post that on my profile. I go into these groups that you're talking about, because they are predominantly spammy groups and recruitment groups of I need 5 people or who wants to make unlimited income, all that. And I post it in there, and I get massive responses. And what I do is I don't post a link at all. What I say is comment under this group. And people will comment, and I go back and I private mail each person.
Okay.
Now, it might sound time consuming to do that rather than just put a link up and let people come to your group that way. But it's engaging in that relationship from the start. So you're building the relationship from the minute you connect. It's not just a come and see who I am, I'm wonderful, I'm talking to you. It's a let me genuinely help you. So
are you adding them into a specific group, or are you just messaging them through and making a connection?
It's through, like, say the 500 post that I put up last night. I posted it in, I think, about 6 or 7 different work from home groups, let's call them, or networking groups, and had about 10 responses within about 10 minutes across the groups. And I just, as soon as they comment under my group saying info please, or I want to know, or yes, hands up, or whatever, I literally click on their name, add them as a friend, send them a message. Thanks for commenting on my post. If I'm doing it immediately, I would just send them the company community link. Sorry. So I would say you commented on my post, I would add you as a friend and email you immediately saying thanks for commenting on the post. Here, come and join my free coaching community. The information you're looking for is in the pinned post, or the information you're looking for was posted today, or whatever it is. Or join mine is my boot camp. Join the boot camp in the pinned post, and hit send, and then I go back to the message and I write underneath their comment, PM'd you, and I tag them. But if you've not connected on friends, they're not quite friends yet, you've only requested them, you've got a chance that your message will go into filtered and they won't see it. So, if you comment saying I've messaged you, they'll look for it.
Would you still use that technique if you were looking to prospect somebody, if you're looking for leads for your business? Would you use that same technique?
Yeah, that's exactly the technique I use. And then once they're into your group, you start to take them through the 6-step sponsoring sequence. And by the time you get to the end of the sequence, you'll either know whether they're for your business or they're not.
So would you suggest, because I've got a product page, would you suggest that I open up a different page?
Different group, yeah.
Group?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
That's okay. Do we have any other questions before we wrap it up?
I love it.
Yes,
hi. My phone died. So I just wanted to ask you, in terms of Facebook changing the algorithms for groups, is that for all groups now, or is it just for selling pages?
No, it's linked to your profile. So anything that you're posting from your profile into any group is going to be monitored.
Right. Okay. No worries.
So they're cracking down big time, because I mean, even over a year ago, I was at a company event, and they were telling us stop using Facebook for selling. Stop it, because Facebook have contacted the head offices of all the major companies and have told them that they should not be using Facebook to sell from their profile.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same with who I'm with as well. They're really hot on people using Facebook, obviously for any selling reasons or anything like that. So I always try. I mean, obviously you've seen my personal profile anyway, and there is No, there's nothing to do with networking on there anyway. So what I'll probably do in future is go into the app and then transfer from business page instead when I'm posting links.
Yeah, I mean, you can do. I mean, as long as you're not posting links constantly, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be.
There's going to be a level of safety that you get away with.
Yeah.
You know, and as I say, on Networking Superstar School on Wednesday, we're going to open up some information on this for you guys.
Cool.
So I'll put some information on that event in my group tomorrow. So yeah, I think if you follow this process, the 6 steps process, you should never really have too much of a problem, because you're not coming from a spammy place. You're not coming from a desperation place where you need to get so much out. It's about getting people to come to you, getting people. You're attracting people by what you offer, so you're getting people to come to you and connect with you, and then so your content is going to attract them. You're going to capture them into your group. You're going to connect with other people and continue to connect with them. You're then going to get comments and engagement to make sure you're getting a match and keep that viewing figures up. And then you're going to communicate and you're going to close. And the last two are obviously the main bits for getting a sale, but the first, you can't do that bit without the first bit.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to hit a brick wall every single time. So, I mean, cold market prospecting works, but you have to pick up the phone and you have to dial a lot of people to get 1 or 2 people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable doing that, then we're not telling you not to do that, but it's hard work. This is much more.
It is.
This is much more.
I mean, I'm loving the 6 steps, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, personally, obviously, you know already, I've had more sales because of it, and a lot of people have come to me and approached me, and I've had more interaction with people. So, and not only that, it's made me see more people face to face as well, because a lot of the people that are in my group are, are close by as well, besides obviously being far away, and the furthest being in Malta. So
okay, cool. That's cool.
So yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. So I've pretty much covered a lot of stuff tonight, and I've gone over what I was going to cover in session 2 as well. So I'm going to really think about, you guys are getting double the content for what I was going to cover. So I'll put a message in our little chat group about session 2. I'm probably thinking Tuesday, just to get this done and get you started. I really want to see some action and get you pushing forward and seeing some success from you guys, because I think you can all rock it. You just need to start implementing the steps. So if there's any other questions, if not, then we will leave it there for tonight. Are we all good?
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Right. Okay. I will see you all very soon.